Hey guys, welcome to another watch collector. My name's Ollie. Today we're looking at a brand called Paul Gerber. This is the first time I've got to have a look at one of their watches, or rather one of his watches I should say, and specifically it's the Model 42. But of course, before we get to that, the obligatory wristwatch check, and today I'm wearing the Laurent Ferrier Sport Auto with blue opaline dial and grade 5 titanium case and bracelet. So as I mentioned, this is the Paul Gerber 42. A little bit about Paul. Born in 1950, he's the holder of not one but two separate Guinness World Records in horology. One is the world's smallest ever clock made out of wood. And secondly is the most complicated timepiece by parts. Not in complication, by parts, so 1,116 parts. Now, we're used to extremely complicated pieces, having maybe 4, 5, maybe even 600 pieces. That is, of course, in of itself, an incredible achievement. But 1,116, I'll let that marinate just for a while. Just getting that to work harmoniously, I can only imagine the difficulty with that. This is at the other end of the scale. So 42 millimeters in diameter, 12 millimeters in height, 100 meter water resistant. As you can see, this is in a sandblasted titanium case. This is your pilot version of the Paul Gerber. Extremely legible. I love the fact you've got the big date, flows around the track around the outside of the dial, matte black, anti-coated sapphire crystal. It does everything you need as a pilot's watch. Loads of lume, no frills, no messing. You need to know the time, and that's it. And it looks great, extremely clean. But to be honest, when you're thinking about someone like Paul Gerber, you think, well, there needs to be a flourish. This is someone who has created a watch with 1,116 parts. Well, we flip it over, and there, what he's done is he's modified an ETA movement to have not one, not two, but 3 rotors, all moving in time. Never touching, or overlapping, despite the fact when you look at them, you think, well, how on earth does that happen? And the reason why is because it's got a regulator right at the center, preventing the rotors from touching each other. It's a frankly amazing way of taking a standard ETA movement and making it look autorology. You know, if we think of other manufacturers, for example, Philippe Piccolo, who is doing phenomenal things, which what we would describe as standard movements, but finishing them to within an inch of their lives. What Paul Gerber's done here is take, as I said, a standard ETA movement and make it look like this is a piece that could rightly stand alongside pieces that cost significantly more than this. Really, really great imagination, fun as well. It feels like you want to play with the head of the watch, rotate those rotors. It's really something else. Let me throw it on the wrist and see how it wears. Okay, so as you'd expect, extremely light. It's full titanium. 42 millimeters is not, of course, it's not just 42 millimeters because you've got the slightly extended lugs. So it probably wears a little bit larger than that. Maybe more like a 44, and of course you've got the big crown as well. It's a robust look. It has complete presence. There's no mistaking this as a pilot's watch. But then again, that's exactly what you need. That is the look of a pilot's watch. Doesn't matter who you go with, whether it's an IWC or whether you go for a Patek pilot's watch. That is kind of that really robust, almost like brutal styling with ultra legibility. But because it's light, and especially on a rubber strap, super wearable. So if you're into that pilot look, it's a fantastic option. And And look, let's face it, it may use an ETA movement, but frankly, as soon as you turn it over, unless you know it's an ETA movement, once you look at those rotors, which are 18 karat gold, I should add, then you're not going to, the last thing you're going to think is this is something bog standard. This is something that's quite special and unusual in the pilot sector, I would probably add. So guys, that's the Paul Gerber Model 42 in titanium. I think it's a great piece, super fun, and I love the way they've done the rotors. It just adds that additional je ne sais quoi to a piece that otherwise you might think, oh well, it's just a pilot watch. It's not. Flip it over and see what you can find out. So guys, that's enough from me. We'll see you next time.